All right, let's dive into FastAPI, which has become one of the most talked about web frameworks in the Python world. And for good reason. We're going to see exactly how it lives up to its name by going from a totally blank file to a real working API step by step.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if all the boring boilerplate, the complicated setup, and the chore of writing documentation could just vanish? That's the core promise of FastAPI, and we're about to see if it holds up.
So what is this thing really? At its heart, FastAPI is a modern web framework for building APIs with Python. But here's the key difference. It was designed from day one, from the ground up, for this specific job. That focus means it's built to be incredibly fast, and not just fast for the computer, but fast for you, the developer, to write the code.
And this really gets to the heart of why so many developers are loving it. I mean, the performance claims are wild, putting it in the same league as Node.js and Go. But honestly, for most of us, the real game changer is how fast it is to code and how ridiculously easy it is to pick up. A lot of that comes from its clever use of modern Python features like type hints, which helps your editor catch mistakes for you, leading to way fewer bugs. It just feels like the whole package. Okay, enough talk, right? Let's actually see the code. We're going to build our very first API endpoint, and you're going to be shocked at how little it takes to get a live server up and running. No, seriously, this is pretty much all you need to get started. First, you import the main FastAPI class. Second, you create an instance of it. This little app object is going to be the center of our whole API. And third, you use what's called a decorator. That's the line with the @ symbol. Think of it as a little sticky note you put on a function. This one, @app.get// tells FastAPI, hey, when a GET request comes in for the root URL, I want you to run the function right below me.
And this is that function. It's just a plain old Python function. There are no complicated request or response objects you have to learn. You just return a dictionary, and FastAPI is smart enough to know you want to send that back as JSON, which is the universal language of APIs. It's so clean and just feels, well, it feels like Python.
So how do you bring this to life? You run a command just like this one. Uvicorn is a super fast web server that actually runs your code. You just tell it, look in the main.py file for an object named app. And that -reload flag, that's a lifesaver. It means the server will automatically restart every single time you save your code. And just like that, you have a live API. Okay, having a server running is cool, but this is where FastAPI starts to feel like actual magic. It comes with these incredible features that are just built in. You get them for free without writing a single extra line of code. Let's look at these superpowers.
Superpower number 1 is automatic data validation, and it's all thanks to a library called Pydantic. All you do is define what your data should look like using a simple class and standard Python type hints, like you see here. Now, if someone tries to send a request to create a product, but the ID isn't an integer, or the price isn't a number, FastAPI automatically rejects it and sends back a helpful error message. This just wipes out an entire class of potential bugs right from the start.
And this is superpower number 2, and it's my favorite. The second your server is running, you can just go to the /docs URL in your browser and you get this, a complete interactive documentation page for your entire API. You can see every single endpoint, what data it expects, and you can even try them out right there. This is a huge time saver, but more importantly, it means your documentation can never be out of sync with your code. It's always a perfect mirror, which is a massive win. All right, let's get a little more real world. A simple hello world is great, but actual applications need to save data somewhere, right? They need a database. So let's see how FastAPI hooks up to one using a really powerful library called SQL Alchemy.
To do this, we use something called an ORM, which stands for Object Relational Mapper. Now that sounds way more complicated than it is. The big idea is simple. Instead of writing raw SQL code, let's just describe our database tables using Python classes. So here, we're defining what our products table should look like, but we're doing it all in Python. This lets us keep our database structure right next to our application logic.
This table makes that connection crystal clear. The attributes you define in your Python class on the left map directly to the columns in your database table on the right. Your name string becomes a varchar column. It's a direct translation, which lets you think in terms of Python objects, while SQL Alchemy handles all the database-specific stuff in the background.
So, how do we actually get a database connection into our API functions when they need one? Well, FastAPI has this incredibly elegant system called dependency injection. We create a little helper function, let's call it getDB, that knows how to create and, importantly, clean up a database connection.
Then in any function that needs the database, we just add it as a parameter with this depends thing. FastAPI takes care of the rest, ensuring every request gets a clean connection that's always closed properly. It keeps our code super tidy.
So at this point, we have a really powerful backend API. But an API isn't very useful by itself. The final piece of the puzzle is connecting it to a front-end application, the actual user interface that people are going to click on. And the moment you try to do that, you almost always run smack into this wall, the chorus problem. It's a security thing. By default, web browsers will block a web page from making requests to a different origin. In this case, your front end on port 3000 and your back end on port 8000 are seen as two different places, so the browser just says nope and blocks the connection to be safe.
But just as you'd probably expect by now, FastAPI makes the solution incredibly simple. You import this CORS middleware, and you add it to your app. By telling it which origins are allowed to connect, or just using a wildcard like star while you're developing, you're basically telling the browser, hey, it's cool, I trust this other application. It's just 2 lines of code, and boom, your front end and back end can finally talk.
And there you have it. We went from literally 3 lines of code to a fully documented, data-validated, database-connected API that's ready to be hooked up to a real user interface. We've seen the FastAPI really does live up to its promise of being fast to code and ready for production. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?